Throughout the history of trains and rail fanning, one thing has remained constant. That is, specific locomotives that rail fans are particularly attracted to, known in the community as good power, desirable power, and so on and so forth. However, as time goes on, this good power often gets replaced by newer and more reliable power, leading to the demise of the good power. However, as of late, good power has become more and more difficult to catch. The purpose of this video is to shed some light on what's happening to the good power, to identify what good power is left and where to find it, as well as to provide some examples of the good power being phased out. With that, I am proud to present good power. What is it, what's happening to it, and how to catch what's left. First things first, we need to discuss what exactly constitutes good power. While different rail fans tend to have different views on what's good and what's boring, the rule of thumb in the community is essentially the older the better. Take for example Dash 8s versus GEVOs. Most people prefer to see Dash 8s over GEVOs because the Dash 8s are older and thus rarer. Another thing that constitutes good power is an original paint unit. An original paint unit is a locomotive that wears the paint scheme of a fallen flag railroad or a past paint scheme. For example, UP 6706 wearing the colors of the Chicago and Northwestern, or BNSF 649 wearing the war bonnet scheme of the Santa Fe Railroad. For the most part, an original paint unit can be easily identified as a fallen flag unit, but there are some exceptions such as KCS's Gray Ghosts. Good power doesn't necessarily have to have special paint to be desirable. Standard cab EMD and GE power, as well as older mainline models like SD70s or Dash 9s, can also fall under the good power category, and sometimes they are even original paint units. Now that we've established what good power is, what's happening to it? The answer is simple: replacements and rebuild. It's been the cause of the downfall of so many types of locomotives loved by rail fans, from steam locomotives to SD70 Max. My personal favorite locomotives, the Santa Fe Warbonnet C44-9Ws, aren't immune to replacement, as currently, almost all of them have been converted into yard switchers with less than 10 remaining out of yard duty, and all of those have been downgraded to local service. I wouldn't say that that's always a bad thing though, since local service can result in some unreal consists being created. BNSF's SD70 Max are also coming to their unfortunate end, as BNSF has ordered new ES44 and ET44 ACHs to replace them. Another example of good power being replaced is on CN's Iron Range in northern Minnesota. For the last 60 plus years, rail fans have been flocking to the Iron Range for its unique power. First the DMIR's gargantuan 2884 Yellowstone locomotives, then their SD18s, SD38s, and tunnel motors, and the most well-known power, C40-8s, BLE and CN tunnel motors, and Illinois Central SD40s. The last group of power has called the Iron Range home for more than a decade. That was until CN placed an order for 50 former BNSF Dash 9s to be rebuilt into AC44 C6Ms to replace the power. After that was announced, it was an absolute frenzy of rail fans trying to rush up there to shoot the power before it was gone for good. I was personally lucky enough to make the trip, and it was truly an unforgettable experience. So, if the good power is disappearing, what can we do to catch it before it's gone? Well, it's a bit complicated. The best answer I have is to check local rail cams or train logs frequently for power that you consider desirable. However, don't railfan just based off of what's been added into the train logs, because it's easy for good power to avoid these log locations. Going trackside just for the fun of it is an easy way to catch good power, though beware, because it's very hard to catch good power by complete surprise. That's not to say it doesn't happen from time to time, so don't be discouraged. Another surefire way to see good power is by visiting a deadline. Deadlines are long lines of locomotives in storage, either waiting for repairs, scrap, or simply fleet reduction. While not as satisfying to a rail fan, these deadlines usually have secrets to hold within them, and or extremely rare locomotives in danger of the scrapper's torch. Well, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and best of luck catching the good power before it's gone.